Hi, I'm Leigh-Chantelle from Viva la Vegan.net, and today is the first of many, I hope, questions and answers that I'm doing on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Today, the question is, what is nutritional yeast? In case you haven't seen nutritional yeast, that's what it looks like. This is the flakes that I have. Now, nutritional yeast has many different names. Can be called noosh, can be called hippie dust, and in Australia it is known as savoury yeast flakes. It is a vegan product. You can use it quite easily. It's from an organism that's grown on molasses and it's deactivated. So you can't use this to bake bread or anything like that because it's in inactive form and it won't make things grow like brewer's yeast or baking yeast. There's no leavening ability. So yeah, yeast, not really the same as the other yeasts that you know. There's a few different brands that you could buy. If you're one of my US friends, Red Star's a really good brand, and so is Bragg's. And Javita in the UK is good. And in Australia, we have Lotus brands and a few others. And like I said before, look for savoury yeast flakes if you're in Australia. You can buy mostly nutritional yeast from health food stores. I haven't seen it in any supermarkets in Australia yet, but I'm sure it would be in Whole Foods and the biggest sort of stores in America and hopefully in the UK. Let me know if I'm wrong. You can get it in bulk. We have a great vegan store called The Green Edge in Brisbane, and I get this in bulk because it's much cheaper and you can just reuse all your containers as well. We put it in a big glass jar at home. Some people say that nutritional yeast is good for B12. It's not unless someone puts B12 in it. So for example, in the States, Red Star has B12 added to it. That's why it has B12 in it. But some other good things about nutritional yeast, it has B vitamins, folic acid, selenium, zinc and protein. It's a really low fat, and most of the brands of nutritional yeast are actually gluten free. There's no sugars, there's no preservatives, and it's yellow, which is pretty cool. It's really flavorful, and you can add just a couple of tablespoons to a meal just to give it, a little bit of a different taste. And it's especially good for cheese sauces or anything that needs a bit of a cheesy sort of flavor to it. One of the things that I use nutritional yeast for is for making a lasagna, for pastas, and also for pizzas. Just make the sauce. I'm sure a lot of you have seen my vegan cheese sauce video. It's one of my most popular videos here on YouTube. So if you make the sauce like that, using of course nutritional yeast flakes, you can use that and add it to many dishes. You can freeze it and you can reuse it. I was giving many demos around Southeast Asia, where I've just been for the past 6 months. I was demoing some food and giving a lot of vegan education and outreach sort of talks. And one of the questions was, do I have to use nutritional yeast flakes with the vegan cheese sauce? Yes, you do. Anything that the main ingredient is going to nutritional yeast flakes, you need to have the nutritional yeast. It gives it that cheesy flavor. We're making a cheese sauce, we need the cheese flavor. The cheese flavor comes from nutritional yeast, so yes, you do need that. Other than sprinkling it onto food, you can make many other things. Like I was saying before, you have to use nutritional yeast where it's the main ingredient. There's no other substitution. But if you just used it as a flavor in a meal, you can also use soy sauce or miso, but you might want to halve whatever you were going to use for nutritional yeast, just halve it for the soy sauce or for the miso. And then you may even have to halve it again as well. So just give it a go, see what you think. Nutritional yeast flakes is for any sort of savoury food. Make some, muffins, cheese muffins, add it to your dish. It's really good for popcorn, for some nuts to put on some roasted veggies, sprinkle it on the top. It's good if you mash it into mashed potatoes. Like I said before, it's amazing for pasta dishes. So pizzas, for lasagna, for pasta, mac and cheese, for example, my US friends love. It's great to make a cheese from, so like a nut cheese, a pesto, a dip, anything like that. Any meal like a stir fry, I use it in pretty much every stir fry I make. I use nutritional yeast flakes, chili, probably too much chili, and maybe some other flavors if you like, but they're my staples. You can use nutritional yeast flakes for sauces, soups, gravy, anything like that. Sprinkle it over on the top instead of like breadcrumbs or something. Sprinkle it over some pies, loaves or bakes and include it into it. I'm sure a lot of my vegan friends know about kale chips and dehydrating or even cooking kale chips in the oven. And you can sprinkle some of the nutritional yeast on the kale chips. That's a pretty good snack. And Mexican dishes, make a bit of a sauce or just sprinkle it through your the red or the tomato in the beans sort of mixture that you're using. I've even heard that it's great for cats and dog friends for their meals, so give that a go if you haven't before. And anyway, I hope you really love nutritional yeast flakes, or savoury yeast flakes as we call it in Australia. Make sure you check it out and buy some, and if you've never tried it, just do that. Very cheesy, great taste. I hope you've liked this video, and if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the future, please write a comment or send me an email on vivalavegan.net. Please subscribe to the channel so that you can keep up to date with our weekly questions and answers. Thank you.